What if I told you that you're actually cheating at the game of golf? Now, before you get upset, I'm about to share with you 5 common rule violations that all golfers break, and they don't even know that they're breaking them. One of the main rules that I see many beginner golfers break, and I've done this myself, is on the tee box. Now, I'm sure, as you know, you're supposed to tee up in between the 2 tee markers and behind them, which that's fine most of the time, especially if you're playing on nicer courses that have nice, level, flat tee boxes. But many public courses, especially during the winter, have tee boxes that aren't exactly up to snuff. You have to actually move the ball and find a flat place for you to make your tee shot. Now, you know that you're not supposed to go forward past the tee markers, but do you know how far back you are allowed to go? Now, when I first started golf, I used to tee up as far back as I needed to find a good place on the tee box. But I found out that I was actually breaking a rule. The rule states, and this isn't exactly verbatim, but basically you are allowed to move the ball 2 club lengths back from the tee markers. So you better hope that you find a good solid place to tee off from on that tee box within 2 club lengths behind the tee markers. So you can take your driver and lay it down if you're scared and measure off. So anywhere within this rectangle here is where you could actually officially tee off without any penalty strokes. If you're teeing off way back here, that's no good. Now, another rule that you may be breaking actually deals with grounding your club in a hazard. And I know what you're thinking, hey, wait a minute, didn't they change the rules in 2019 where you can actually casually ground your club in a bunker? Yes, they did. What does casually mean? Well, if you're over here and you're maybe assessing the shot, or maybe you're just taking a second while the other person's hitting and you casually set your club down, they're not going to penalize you for that. But if you decide that you're going to take a practice swing at your ball, you cannot touch the bunker with your club, because that is a penalty. Now, if you go and actually ground your club at address before you hit the ball out of the sand trap, that's actually a penalty and will cost you strokes. So make sure that you're keeping your club up out of the bunker. Now, another rule that I see that is often broken deals with a provisional ball, or rather the actual announcement of a provisional ball. Now, guys, if you hit a ball out of bounds, do not be ashamed of that. It happens to everyone, even the pros. If that happens to you, then just say, I'm going to hit a provisional ball. Now, the rule states that you have to announce it so that the people in the general vicinity can hear you. So saying, I'm gonna hit a provisional ball, real quietly, because maybe you're embarrassed or ashamed of a bad shot, that doesn't fly, all right? You've got to say out loud, I'm gonna hit a provisional ball. Probably the most notable error that beginner golfers make is not stating, I'm gonna play a provisional ball. They say, I'm gonna reload, or second time's the charm, or something like that. And that's not an official way to declare a provisional ball. If you're out there just having fun with your friends, then, you know, maybe a saying like that can be assumed by the entire group that, okay, he's gonna hit a provisional ball. But when you're in regulation play, or you're in a tournament or something like that, you must clearly state so that people in the area can hear, I'm playing a provisional ball. Make sure you're doing that. Now, the 4th common rule that most beginner golfers break is identifying their ball correctly. When you go to identify a ball, you need to make sure that you take a marker, ball marker, coin, something like that, mark the ball that you are about to check, then lift the ball, look at it, and see if it is yours. If you don't set that marker down first, you've just violated the rules and you've cost yourself some strokes. Another thing that I see those golfers do is when they pick that ball up to identify it, they're brushing the mud and grass and stuff off of it like willy-nilly, man. They don't care at all. And that's against the rules. The rules state that you can only remove mud and debris enough to identify that the ball is yours. It doesn't mean you can pick it up and give it a good clean off or anything like that. You can't do that, guys, okay? So make sure that you're marking your ball, and when you pick it up to identify it, if it's got mud and stuff on it, brush away only a little bit of that, just enough to identify it so that you don't violate those rules and cost yourself some strokes. Is this one mine? No, it's just a pinnacle. How about this one? Oh, Yeah, get it clean. Oh, Pro V1. I'm not playing it, but it's mine now. How about this one? This is a Strixon. I like Strixon. It's a good ball. Let's get that real nice and clean. Yeah. I forgot to mark the ball. You know what? It was about there. That's good. Now, the last mistake that I've got for you is actually to your benefit. I'm sure many of you have heard that you cannot ask for advice on the golf course, and this is true. You cannot ask club selection or anything like that. But did you know that asking yardage or distance is not against the rules? You can ask anybody. Pick your friends. Pick a guy off the street. If you're lucky enough to have a caddy, ask the caddy. Sounds crazy, right? You can ask anyone distances because it is public knowledge. Just like the shape of the hole or how many bunkers and where they are, all that is public knowledge. It's displayed on a scorecard. That's something you can ask your playing partners. Hey bro, how far is it to the pin? Far, dude. Like, far. Yeah. Can you give me that in yards, maybe? Yeah. That's like far yards? Like, not like far yards, like far yards. Yeah. Cool.